French doors, lovely roses. Do you like gardening?
I used to.
Imagine having a long, leisurely breakfast in here.
As opposed to instant coffee on Eastern Airlines.
Exactly. This is a room after my own heart. I grew up in a room like this. Same sort of furniture, everything.
So did I.
Then here we are. Welcome home.
What were they asking again?
Make an offer, I think they'll come down.
The trouble is, we'll never use this room.
Oh, now.
I mean, at the last two houses we lived in, my wife used that Thiel just to sort the laundry.
Oh, no.
Maybe you better show me something more temporary.
That means something farther out. How long do we have to find you a home?
One day.
And how long will the corporation keep here after you found it?
6 months to a week.
Oh, then we should definitely look farther out. You can look at the kitchen as we leave.
You shouldn't have shown me this first.
I thought it was something to go by.
But you've spoiled me for everything else.
Oh, now we'll find you something if we've got all day. But wasn't it a lovely room?
Let's go or I'll buy it. Ah, the dining room.
Yes.
Notice how we gravitate right to this room.
I know it.
Are you sure Mother doesn't want any of this stuff in Florida?
She hardly has room for what she has got. She wants us to take turns without fighting.
We'll draw lots then.
Unless one of us wants something and one of us doesn't.
We have to do it today.
Do you think that's enough time to divide up the whole house?
Gotta get back, Sal. We'll draw lots and take turns going through the rooms. Ooh, here. Ah, we'll use the salt spoon. You pick the spoon, you get the dining room.
You mean you want to start here?
Gotta start somewhere.
You mean you want the dining room?
Yeah.
What happened to that stuff you had?
Jane took it. It was part of the settlement.
If you win, where will you put it?
That's my problem, Sal.
I thought you had a tiny apartment.
I'll find a place.
I mean, your children won't want it.
Probably not.
Then where on earth?
Come on, Sal, choose. You don't want it.
Of course I want it.
I mean, you already have a perfectly good dining room.
Not as good as this.
You mean you want 2 dining rooms?
I'd give our old stuff to Debbie.
To Debbie.
She's our oldest child.
Does Debbie want a dining room?
She might.
In a condominium?
She might.
In Denver?
She just might, Arthur.
I don't want to fight. Which hand?
Are you planning to put it in storage?
I might.
I checked on that. That costs an arm and a leg.
So does shipping it to Denver.
Good morning, Annie.
I know what will happen if you win.
What?
You'll end up selling it.
Selling it?
That's what'll happen. It'll kick around for a while, and then you'll end up calling a furniture dealer.
I am absolutely amazed you'd say that.
You don't want to fight, Arthur.
Neither do I. Maybe we should defer the dining room.
Maybe we should.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Annie.
Selling the dining room. Is that what you told Mother I'd do?
I told her I'd give you the piano if I could have the dining room.
I'll be lucky if I end up keeping this spoon.
I'll give you the piano and the coffee table if I can have the dining room.
Annie,
Yes, sir.
did I detect a small seed in my orange juice yesterday morning?
I strained it, sir.
I'm sure you did. Nonetheless, I think I may have detected a small seed.
I'll strain it twice, sir.
Seeds can wreak havoc with the digestion, Annie.
Yes, sir.
They can take root and grow.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Daddy!
Yes? Good morning, Lizzie.
Daddy, could Charlie and me?
Charlie and I.
Charlie and I come out and sit with you while you have breakfast?
Certainly you may. I'd be delighted to have the pleasure of your company, provided... I said provided you sit quietly without leaning back in your chairs. And don't fight or argue.
He says we can!
I said you may, sweetheart.
Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning, Dad.
Here's your breakfast, sir.
Thank you, Annie.
You're welcome, sir.
Mother said she was thinking about having us eat dinner in here with you every night.
Yes, we're both thinking that, and we're looking forward to it. As soon as you children are to sit up straight, and I see no no reason why we shouldn't all enjoy a pleasant meal together every evening.
Could we try tonight, Dad? Could you give us a test?
Not tonight, Charlie, because tonight your mother and I are throwing a small dinner party. But I certainly hope that you and Lizzie will come down and shake hands.
I get so shy, Dad.
You'll just have to try, sweetheart. Half of life is learning to meet people.
What's the other half, Dad?
Is that a crack?
No, Dad.
That certainly sounded like a smart guy wise crack to me. And people who make cracks like that don't normally sit in the dining room table.
I didn't mean it as a crack, Dad.
Then we'll ignore it. We'll continue with our breakfast.
Your car's here, Lizzie, for school. Okay.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Annie. Goodbye, Daddy.
Goodbye, darling. Don't be late. Say good morning to the driver. Sit quietly in the back. Work hard. Run, run! Goodbye.
Dad? Can I read the funnies?
Certainly, certainly you may. This won't mean much to you, but the government is systematically ruining this country.
Miss Kelly told us about the government.
Really? And who, pray tell, is Miss Kelly?
She's my teacher.
I don't remember any Miss Kelly.
She's new, Dad.
I see. And what has Miss Kelly been telling you?
She's told us that there's a depression going on.
I see.
People all over the country are standing in line for bread.
I see.
So the government has to step in and do something about it.
Annie!
Yes, sir.
I'd very much like some more coffee, please.
Yes, sir.
Dad? Can we leave a little early?
We'll leave when we always leave.
But I'm always late, Dad.
Nonsense.
I am, Dad. Yesterday I came in and they were already singing Morning Hymn.
A minute or two late.
Everyone looked at me, Dad.
It's that new stoplight on Richmond Avenue. It's affecting our timing.
It's not just the stoplight, Dad. Sometimes I walk in and they're already doing arithmetic. Miss Kelly says I should learn to be punctual.
Miss Kelly again, eh?
She says that if everyone's late, no one could ever learn mathematics.
Now, you listen to me, Charlie. Miss Kelly may be an excellent teacher. Her factoring may be flawless. Her geography beyond question. But she does not teach us politics. Nor does she teach us how to run our lives. She is not going to tell you or me to leave in the middle of a pleasant breakfast just to get caught in the bulk of the morning traffic, just so you can arrive in time for some silly hymn. Long after you've forgotten that hymn, long after you've forgotten how to factor, long after you've forgotten Miss Kelly, you remember these pleasant breakfasts around this dining room table. And here's your mother to prove it.
Good morning, dear. Good morning, Charlie.
I know people who leap to their feet when a beautiful woman enters the room.
Oh, that's all right, dear.
I also know people who are quick to push in their mother's chair.
Thank you, dear.
And I know people who are quick to give their mother the second section of the morning paper.
Here, Mom.
Thank you, dear.
Now, Charlie, take a moment, if you would, just to look at your lovely mother, bathed in the morning sunlight and reflected in the dining room table.
Oh, Russell.
Look at her, Charlie, and ask yourself this. Which is worth our ultimate attention? Your mother or Miss Kelly?
But who's Miss Kelly?
Never mind, dear. Which, Charlie?
My mother?
Good, Charlie! Fine. And I think it's time that we run upstairs just before we're on our way and say goodbye.
Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Mrs. Tell Irma I'll have 2 poached eggs this morning, please, Annie. Yes, Mrs.
Hey! Oops! I thought you'd gone. I forgot my briefcase. What's going on?
I have to get this term paper done.
In here?
Where else?
You're going to type.
Of course I'm going to type.
In here. At the table.
Why not?
You're going to sit there, banging a typewriter on my family's dining room table?
Why not?
Because it wasn't designed for it, that's why.
Oh, Howard.
Lucky I came back. Next thing you know, you'd be feeding the dog off our Wedgwood chart.
It has rubber pads under it. I checked. If you want, I'll get something else.
You're not going to use that placemat?
I thought I would, yes.
That is a good placemat, Ellie.
We haven't used it in 10 years.
That is an extremely good placemat. Mother bought that in Italy?
All right. I'll use this then. Mind if I use this? We put pots on it. We can certainly put a typewriter.
Annie! Yes, Mrs. I wonder if something might have happened to my poached eggs, Annie. Or am I cooking 2 more, Mrs.?
2 more?
The first one slid off the plate while she was buttering the toast. Is she drinking again, Annie? No, Mrs. Tell me the truth. I don't think so, Mrs. I'd better go see. A simple question of 2 poached eggs. Honestly, Annie, sometimes I think it's almost better if we just do things ourselves. Yes, Mrs.
Don't you have a plate to catch? It's kind of hard to work with your husband hovering over you like a helicopter.
Well, it's kind of hard to leave when your wife is mutilating the dining room table.
I'll be careful, Howard. I swear. Now, goodbye.
Can you please work somewhere else?
I'd like to know where, please.
What's wrong with the kitchen table?
It doesn't work, Howard. Last time the kids got peanut butter all over my footnotes.
Well, I'll set up the bridge table in the living room.
I just have to move it whenever you and the boys wanted to watch a football game.
You mean you're going to leave this stuff here?
I thought I would, yes.
All this shit all over the dining room?
It's a term paper, Howard. It's crucial for my degree.
You mean you're going to leave all the stuff all over here for the rest of the term?
It's never used. Why not?
Well, what if we give a dinner party?
Since when have we given a dinner party?
Well, what if we have some guests over?
We can eat in the kitchen.
Oh, God.
Everybody does these days.
That doesn't make it right.
Let me get this done, Howard. Let me get a good job and a great grade in my master's degree so I can be out of here every day.
Fine. What the hell? Then why don't I turn it into a tool room every night?
Why did you tell Mildred to wake me up this morning, Mother? Let me finish this grocery list. Saturday, Mother! There. I know it's Saturday, darling, and I apologize. But something has come up, and I want you to make a little decision. What decision? Start your breakfast, dear. No one can make unnecessary stuff. Now, guess who's had a row this morning? Your Aunt Martha. I love her. Oh, so do I. But the poor thing hasn't got enough to do. So she was on the telephone at the crack of dawn. What did she want? Well, now, here's the thing. She's got an extra ticket for the theater tonight, and she wants you to join her. Sure. Now, wait till I finish, dear. I told her it was your decision, of course. very talky play called St. Joe.
Oh, we read that one in school. I want to call them more. It's the Road Company, sweetheart.
It doesn't even have Catherine Cornell.
Still like, go.
Do some endless play with your maiden aunt.
She's my favorite person.
Well, then go if it's that important to you.
I'll call her right now.
Carolyn! You realize, of course, that on the first junior assembly, everyone gets acquainted. Oh, heavens, yes. It starts the whole thing off on the right foot.
God.
Oh, yes. It's like the first day of school. Once you miss, you never catch up.
Didn't know that.
You see why we shouldn't make haste with decisions?
Really? I won't go at all.
What do you mean?
Maybe I'll miss all the junior assemblies.
Oh, Carolyn.
I don't like dancing school anyway.
Don't be silly.
I don't. I've never liked it. I'm taller than half the boys, and I never know what to say, and I'm a terrible dancer. Last year, I spent half the time in the ladies' room.
That's nonsense.
It's true, Mother. I hate dancing school. I don't know why I have to go. St. Joe wouldn't go to dancing school in a million years.
Yes, and look what happened to St. Joe.
I don't care. I've made up my mind.
Your Aunt Martha seems to have caused a little trouble around here this morning.
Maybe.
Your Aunt Martha seems to have opened up a whole can of worms.
I'm glad she did.
Oh, and how do you propose to spend your other Saturday nights? I mean, when there's no Aunt Martha and no St. Joe, and all your friends are having the time of their life at junior assemblies.
I'll do something.
Such as what? Hanging around here, listening to that stupid hit parade, bothering the maid for planning a party.
I'll do something, Mother!
You're obviously not old enough to make an intelligent decision.
I knew you wouldn't let me decide.
All right then, decide.
I would like it.
Let me tell you about your dear Aunt Martha, who also made a little decision when she was about your age. She decided, and if you breathe a word of this, I'll strangle you. She decided she was in love with her riding instructor, and so she threw everything up and ran off with him to Taos, New Mexico, where your poor father had to track her down and drag her back. But it was too late. She had been overstimulated. And from then on in, she refused to join the workday world. So there it is, in a nutshell. So think about it while I'm ordering the groceries. And decide.
I've decided, Mother.
Good. I hope you come to your senses.
I've decided to call Aunt Martha.
No! You've got a dentist appointment, Carolyn, and you've got riding lessons at noon. No, we'll skip the riding lessons, but Carolyn!
Williams has a tipped uterus.
Here now, you stop that talk.
Well, it's true, and it proves that money isn't everything, so you don't have to leave us.
It's not just the money, darling.
Then what is it, Aggie? Don't you like me anymore?
Michael.
Don't you like my family?
Key?
Are you still mad at me for peeking on you in the bathtub?
No, you stop that talk.
Then what is it, Aggie? How come you're just leaving?
Because I don't want to do domestic service no more.
Why?
Because I don't like it no more, Mike.
Well, that's just because Ida left and you have too much to do now.
No, darling.
I'll help you, Ag. I'll make my own bed. I'll pick up my towel. I promise to be much more careful when I pee. No, really, I will. And I'll tell my parents not to throw so many dinner parties, Ag. And I'll tell them to give you more time off. I'll tell them to give you all day Sunday.
No, darling. No.
I'm serious, Ag.
I know, darling. I know.
When will you go in then, Ag?
As soon as your mother finds someone else.
But she can't find anyone else, Aggie.
She will. She will.
No, she says she can't. They keep showing up with dirty fingernails and dyed hair. So you've got to stay. You can't just leave people in the lurch.
I'll stay until you go away to summer camp.
You're gonna get married, aren't you, Ag?
Maybe.
That guy you told me about from church,
Maybe.
you're gonna have children? You will. I know you will. You'll have a boy of your own. Will you come back to see me?
Oh, my, yes.
You won't, Ag.
Oh, I will, surely.
No, you won't. I'll never see you again, ever!
Oh, come here, Mike.
No,
Oh, come here and give Aggie a big hug.
no. Why should I? No!
Just a squeeze for old time's sake.
No! Go hug your own kids, Agnes! I've got work to do! I have a whole stack of homework to do! I'm missing a whole day in school!
Michael! Mikey! All right, children, we're ready. Children! This is a dining room. This is not the monkey house at the zoo. All right, then. I'll just have to tell Roberta in the kitchen to put away all the ice cream and cake. That's much better. No. Let Winkie sit there, since it's her birthday and she's the hostess. Yes, very good. Oh, Billy. You sit here. It should be boy, girl, boy, girl. Yes, that's it. Very good. And now, what do we do with our napkins? Yes, that's it exactly. We unfold them and we tuck them under our chins. And then we put on our party hats.
Can the boys wear their hats in the house?
Yes, they can, Brewster, because this is a special occasion. And sometimes, on special occasions, the rules can change. I said sometimes, and I meant some of the rules.
Hey, there's my dad.
Wait,
Right there.
birthday?
Don't get me started, please.
Can we have ice cream now, please?
In a minute, dear. Be patient. Then you'll have something to look forward to.
Judy must have known you'd be playing golf.
Judy knows everything.
Well, she knows about us at least.
About us? How?
She says she could tell by the way we behaved
Behaved? Where?
at the Bromwell's dinner party.
We hardly spoke to each other.
And that's what she could tell.
We want ice cream! We want ice cream! We want ice
She
cream!
says she's gonna fight it tooth and nail.
Wait, what? We haven't done anything.
She wants to nip it in the bud.
Ice cream! Ice cream!
All right, children, you win.
Roberta is very busy in the kitchen because she also has a dinner party tonight. So, who would like to help bring things out? All right, how about Brewster? Oh, no, Billy, you bring out the ice cream, and Sandra, you bring out the cake. Oh, careful, careful, walk! Don't run. And be polite to Roberta because she's working very hard. Brewster and Winkie, you have other responsibilities. For instance, Brewster, when Billy and Sandra reappear through that door, what will you do?
Sing the song?
Yes, very good, Brewster. Now, very quiet and watch that door. And when they come out, start singing. So what do we do?
She says she's thinking about telling her father about it.
Her father?
He'd fire me immediately.
But what if he did?
Well, I'd be out of a job, Peggy.
Oh, you can get another?
Where? Doing what?
Happy
Birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Winkie! Happy birthday to you!
Oh, no, dear, wait. Always wait. Before you eat your cake and blow out your candles, you have to make a wish. And Mommy has to make a wish. See, Mommy is putting her wedding ring around one of the candles. And now we will both close our eyes and make a wish.
I
Oh,
wish.
no, dear, never tell a wish. If you do, it won't come true. All right. Now, Winkie, will you cut the cake and give everyone a piece, please? And Brewster, you pass out the ice cream.
What'd you wish for?
Won't tell.
Do you think it'll come true?
No.
She'd make it so messy. For everyone.
Judy.
She'd make it impossible.
So would Frank.
I thought Frank didn't care.
Oh, he'd care if it were messy.
We could leave town.
And go where?
Wherever I find another job.
Yes!
I have an uncle who lives in Syracuse.
Syracuse.
We could live there.
Is it nice, Syracuse?
I think it's on some lake.
Syracuse.
You'd have Winkie and I'd get to in the summer.
In Syracuse.
Well, at least we'd be free.
Hey, I'm serving you ice cream.
Let your mouth, please.
Bill,
Yeah.
would you come here a moment, please? Do you have to go to the bathroom?
No.
Then don't do that, please. You know what? I go back and enjoy the party. Sorry.
I grew up here
Who didn't?
to just pick up stakes.
I know.
Hey, this is where I live.
Me too. We'll just have to behave ourselves
Oh, Ted.
and be good little children.
Oh, I can't stand
And
it.
if we're seated next to each other, we'll make a conscious effort.
Oh, we won't be seated next to each other. Judy will see to that.
For a while, anyway.
For quite a while.
Everyone's finished, Mommy.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And here's your ring from the cake.
Oh, good for you, darling. I forgot all about it.
Time to go then?
I planned some games.
You want me to stay?
It would help.
Then I'll stay?
Into the living room now, children, for some games.
What kind of games?
Oh, all kinds of games. Blind man's bluff, pin the tail of the donkey.
I want to be the blind man.
I'll get them started.
Would you, while I go propitiate Roberta?
I'll be the donkey.
Oh, stop.
I'll be the ass.
Stop or I'll scream.
Come on, Mommy, we're waiting.
We're coming, sweetheart. What do you think?
You're in trouble.
Oh dear, I knew it.
It's becoming unglued,
I know the feeling.
falling apart at the seams.
Do you think it's hopeless?
Let me check under the table.
It shakes very badly. I had a few friends over for dinner the other night, and every time we cut our chicken, our water glasses started tinkling frantically, and the chairs creaked and groaned. It was like having dinner at Pompeii.
I'm checking the joints here.
It's all very sad, how things run down and fall apart. I used to tell my husband, my ex-husband, we have such lovely old things. We should oil them, we should wax them, we should keep them up. But of course I couldn't do everything, and he wouldn't do anything, and now here you are.
Hey, take a look at this.
What?
Under here, look.
I don't dare.
I'm serious, look.
Wait till I put on my glasses. Where?
Under here. See, look at the support. See how loose it is?
I can't quite.
Come on.
All right.
See, look at the support.
I see. It wiggles like mad.
Oh, and over here. Look over here.
Oh, hazard of the industry.
See, this is gone. I'll have to put a whole new piece in over here.
I see.
And, oh, excuse me, please. See, this pedestal is loose. It probably needs a new dowel. I'll have to ream it out and put in another.
Do you think so?
Oh, sure. In fact, your whole dining room needs re-screwed, re-glued, and renewed. What's the matter?
It's all just wood, isn't it?
That's it.
I mean, a dining room table would be something special, but it isn't underneath. It's all just wood. Just a couple of big, wide boards.
That's right.
Say, what's this here?
What's what?
Well, you have to come back under here to see. There's some writing here burned into the wood.
Where?
Right here. See? Freeman's Furniture, Wilkes-Barre, PA, 1912.
Oh, that's the manufacturer's mark.
1912?
That's what it says.
But that's not so old.
Well, not if it was made in 1912.
That's not old at all. That's not even antique. It's just American.
Well, there's a lot of these around. They used to crank them out back then.
Now, aren't I dumb? For years, we've been thinking it's terribly valuable.
Well, it is in a sense. It's well made, it's a solid, serviceable copy, and hey, it's based on the English.
I'll be darned. We learn something new every day. Say, you know a lot about furniture, don't you?
I'm beginning to.
Beginning to. How about your father was a cabinet maker or something?
My father was a banker,
A banker?
and I was a stockbroker, until I got into this, of course.
I don't believe you.
Well, sure. Well, I decided that I wanted to see what I was dealing with, and I wanted to touch it, and see the results. So I took up carpentry.
I'm amazed. I mean, I know some stockbrokers. Say, is this the support that's loose?
Oh, that's the one.
Suppose we put a nail in here.
Oh, not a nail. A screw.
Okay. And maybe then another one
epoxy glues now.
Oh, right. And maybe cram a matchbook or something in here.
Oh, not a matchbook.
A wedge, then. A wooden wedge.
Good idea.
See? I can do it, too. So, well, will you be taking the table away to fix it? Or could you fix it here?
I can fix it here if you want.
But that might make more sense. My husband used to ask for written estimates, materials and labor.
I'll write one up.
Suppose I helped on the labor.
I've never worked that way before.
I should learn. I shouldn't be so helpless.
Okay, why not?
Besides, it's not even an antique. If I break something, it's not the end of the world, is it?
Not at all.
When can we start?
Today. Now, if you wanted.
Then we're in a partnership, aren't we?
Okay.
We should have a drink to celebrate. What do we have? Something snappy, like a martini?
Oh, no. I gave those up at the stock market. How about a beer?
Fine idea. Good, solid beer. Right this way. I got the plates, Mrs. Driscoll. You got your hands full with that turkey. We're ready, everybody. Come on in.
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. All right. Mother, you sit here opposite me. Fred, you take a right, and Ben, you sit on our left where she can see you. Nancy and Beth over there, and there we are. You guys came at the right time. Beautiful weather. It's trying to snow again, huh? What's the matter, Mother?
I'm not quite sure where I am.
You're here, Mother. This is your dining room. This is your table, and these are your chairs. There's the china you got on your trip to England, and the carving knife that Father used to use.
Oh, yes.
It's just been a long day. It's worth it.
Tomorrow maybe relax at the end.
But who are these people? I'm not quite sure who these people are.
It's me, Mother, Stuart, your son. And there's Fred, and Ben, and Nancy and Beth. We're all here.
I'll get the turkey. That might help her focus.
Yes. Mrs. Driscoll's here, Mother. She's in the kitchen, just as always. And your grandchildren. All your grandchildren were here. Don't you remember? They ate first at the children's table, and now they're out back playing touch football. You watched them, Mother.
Oh, yes.
Here comes Nancy with the turkey. Just sit over there, Nancy. Isn't it a beautiful bird? And I'm going to carve it just the way Father did. And give you a small piece of the breast and a dab of dressing, just as always.
Just as always.
And Fred will have the drumstick. Am I right, Fred?
Save some of Mrs. Driscoll.
Oh, I always do, Nancy. Mrs. Driscoll likes the second.
This is all very nice, but I think I'd like to go home.
You are home, Mother. You've lived here for 52 years. Or
Forever.
here's your plate, Mother.
Thank you very much, but I really do think it's time to go.
Uh-oh.
Mother.
Oh, dear.
Would you drive me home, please? I live at 18 Summer Street with my mother and sisters.
What should we do?
It's not there now, Mother. Don't you remember? We drove down. There's a big building there now.
Thank you very much for asking me. Thank you for having me to your house.
Mother, I'm Fred, your son.
Yes. Thank you. I've had a perfectly lovely time. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely lovely. Thank you. Thank you.
Quickly, let's sing to her.
Sing.
She liked singing. We used to sing whenever she'd get upset. Fred, Ben, quickly.
No, I can't find my gloves. Where would my gloves be? I can't go out without my gloves.
Sure you can. Come on.
I need my gloves. I need my hat.
As the blackbird in the spring, 'neath the willow tree, sat and piped, I heard him sing, sing of Aurelie. Aurelie, Aurelie, made of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air.
I love music. Every person in our family could play a different instrument.
She's coming around. Quickly, second verse. In thy blush the rose was born, music when you spake. In thine azure eyes the morn, sparkling seemed to break. Aurelie, Aurelie, made of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air.
Great job. That was absolutely lovely.
Thank you, Mother.
But now I've simply got to go home. Would you get my card, please? And someone find my hat and gloves. It's getting very late, and my mother gets very nervous if I'm not home in time for tea.
Look, Fred, Ben, we'll drive her down, we'll show her everything. The new office complex where her house used to be, the entrance to the throughway, the new Howard Johnson's motel, everything. And she'll see there's nothing there at all.
I'll bring the car around.
I'll get her coast. Coming too. We just have to go through the motions.
That's so scary.
I know it.
I suddenly feel so precarious.
It could happen to us all.
It's like we didn't even exist. As if we were all just ghosts or something. Even our own sons. She walked right by them.
And look who walked right by us.
Yes. You know what I'd like?
What?
A good, stiff drink.
I'm with you.
I bet Mrs. Driscoll could use a drink too.
I bet she could.
Let's go ask her.
Mrs. Driscoll?
Let's. All right. Let's go have a drink with Mrs. Driscoll and then dig into this turkey and help her with the dishes. And then figure out how to get through the rest of this rotten day.
Fine room. Big. One of the reasons we bought the house.
And one of the reasons we should consider breaking it up.
Breaking it up.
Now bear with me. Let's say there's an office for you and a waiting room for your patients.
I thought we planned on opening those maid's rooms on the third floor.
Hold on, relax. The patient trusts the psychiatrist, doesn't he? Then why can't the psychiatrist trust the architect? All right, now here's the plans for your ground floor. This is what you're stuck with for the moment. And here, with these approximate dimensions, is your dining room.
I see.
Now suppose, just suppose, we start over with a clean slate. We open this up here, slam a beam in here, break through here and here, blast out this, throw out that. And what do we have?
I'm not sure.
Well, we don't have a dining room anymore. That's what we don't have.
But where would we eat?
Oh, here, right here. I'm putting in an eating area. Here's the fridge, cooking units, Cuisinart, butcher block table, chrome chairs. Notice the space, the flow. Wife cooks, kids at the table, you stack the dishes. Democracy at work right here. in your own home. Now, let's review your day. You come down for breakfast, you eat, chat, read the paper, and then it's time for work. Do you have a nurse or a receptionist?
No, I'm just a humble shrink.
We'll enter the waiting room here and go through soundproof doors here into your office and sit behind your desk module here. Soon Buzz, patient arrives. You buzz him into the soundproof door, he flops on the couch here. He tells you his dream, you look out the window here, he leaves, you write him up, next Buzz. Soon it's time for lunch. You eat in here, you and your wife or one of the kids, and then head back in here for a nice nap, right here. Soon more buzzes, more patience, and then it's time for a good old easy cooperative supper with the family. But not in the dining room. No, not in the dining room.
This room has such resonance.
So does a church. That doesn't mean we have to live there. Look, I know whereof I speak. I grew up in a house like this.
Oh, yes?
Oh, sure. This is home turf to me.
Really?
My father sat in a chair just like that. And my mother sat here, and my sister here, and I sat right here. Oh, God, it all comes back.
Do you want to tell me about it?
It was torture. Oh, those endless meals, waiting to begin, waiting for dessert, waiting to be excused so they couldn't lean on you anymore.
Was it really that bad?
It was brutal. Oh, this one time, I came to the table without washing my hands, and my father...
Go along.
Never mind. The point is, doctor, we need to get rid of this room. I want to get a chance to really get in here and open up this ground floor. Now, what do you say?
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'll send you my bill for the work I've done so far.
Good. And I'll send you mine.
Mom! Mom! Anybody home? See, I told you she isn't here.
Where is she?
She works at a boutique 4 days a week, and my father's away on business in Atlanta or Denver or somewhere. Anyway, I'll show you where they keep the liquor.
My mom's always there when I get home. Always.
Bummer.
And if she isn't, my grandmother comes over.
The liquor's in the pantry.
Oh, hey. Neato.
What?
Well, this room.
That's our dining room.
Oh, I know. But it's viciously nice.
Which do you want? Gin or vodka?
You decide.
Well, there's more gin, so it's less chance they'll notice.
Gin then.
Well, the reason there's more gin is because I put water in it last week. Tell you what, we'll mix in a little of both.
Okay. Do you use this room often?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Every now and again, right? When the relatives come over.
Every night.
Every night?
Well, at least every night they're both home.
Really?
Oh, sure. Whenever they're both home, my father insists that we all eat in the dining room at 7 o'clock. Here, gin and vodka and fresca. The boys are bringing the pie.
Must be nice eating in here.
Oh, yeah, sure. You bet. We have to lug things out, lug things back, and nobody can begin till everything's cool. We have to carry on a decent conversation, and everyone has to finish before anyone can get up. And it sucks. If you want to know, it sucks out loud.
We have to eat in the kitchen.
Can you watch TV while you eat?
We used to. We used to. to watch the local news and weather.
That's something. At least you don't have to talk.
Yeah, but now we can't watch television anymore. My mother read in Family Circle that television is bad news. So now we turn on the stereo and listen to semi-classical music.
My parents said eating in here was supposed to give me some sense of stability.
Do you think it does?
Shit, no! It just makes me nervous. They take the telephone off the hook so nobody can call. My brother gets itchy about his homework, and when my sister had anorexia, she still had to sit here and watch, for God's sake. My parents spend most of the meal bitching, and the whole thing bites, Helen. It really bites. It bites the big one. Want another?
No, thanks.
I do. You call the boys and tell them it's all clear.
Sarah,
What?
when the boys come over, can we have our drinks in here?
In the dining room?
Well, sure. I mean, wouldn't it be cool sitting around this big, shiny table with Eddie and Dwayne drinking gin and Fresca and vodka?
No way! Absolutely no way! Come on now, let's call them. Boys in the dining room? Jesus, Helen, you really are a wimp sometimes. Helen! I'm in here, Gordon. I made tea.
Tea?
Tea.
Why tea?
Because I like it. I love it. Or would you like a drink?
No thanks.
Go ahead. Don't worry about me. I'm all over that. We even have it in the house. I never touch it.
No thanks.
Then have tea. It's very good. It's Earl Grey.
I really should be getting back.
Gordon, please. Have tea.
All right.
Thank you.
Tea. In the dining room.
Where else? Should we huddle guiltily over the kitchen table?
No.
Then tea in the dining room. What would you like, lemon or milk?
Whatever.
Gordon?
Milk then, no sugar.
This. Well, sit down, for heaven's sake.
I think I heard a sound.
Oh, really? And what sound did you hear? A distant lawnmower, a faulty burglar alarm?
I think I heard a car.
What? A car? On this godforsaken street? Should we rush to the window, cheer, wave flags?
Go easy, Kate.
Well, I doubt very much that you heard a car.
It stopped.
The sound?
The car stopped.
All right, Gordon. You heard a car stop. But it's not Ed's car, is it? Because Ed, as you and I well know, is in Amsterdam. Or Rotterdam. Or who gives a damn until next Tuesday? Now, sit down, please. Let's have tea, for heaven's sake. Now, when can we meet again?
I heard a car door slam.
Oh, really? That's because cars have doors. And people, when they get really frustrated, feel like slamming them.
I'm going.
I see how it is. A quick tumble with a bored wife, your best friend.
Someone's at the front door.
No.
Yes, someone with a key.
Now you've got to stay.
Mom,
Lord help us.
I'm home, Mom.
Now you've got to have tea.
Mom?
We're in the dining room, dear. Darling, how'd you get here?
I took a cab to the bus station.
Marvelous. Say hello to Uncle Gordon.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
What's this? Is this what they teach at college? Not to shake hands, not to call people by name?
Hello, Uncle Gordon.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, what brings you home, my love? I expected you Saturday.
My class got canceled.
But then you should have told them.
I wanted to surprise you.
I really should go.
Nonsense. Have more tea. Chris, would you like tea? I was taking a nap and Gordon stopped by. I thought we'd have tea. Have some tea, dear. Or a Coke. Or shall I get you a beer? How about a beer for a college man?
No thanks.
I really better go.
You won't have more tea?
I can't. I'm sorry.
All right, then. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye.
He wanted to talk to me about stocks. I inherited some stocks he thinks I should sell, and so he stopped by.
Wait
mind setting up in here, Aunt Harriet? I want to catch you in the late afternoon light.
Certainly, Tony. Now, I thought I'd use this Irish linen placemat that your great uncle inherited from his mother with matching napkin. These have to be washed and ironed by hand every time they're used. And then, of course, the silver. You see? All Williamsburg pattern. These should be washed and polished at least once every 2 weeks. And then this is Staffordshire, as is the butter plate. Oh, this is bone. The wine glasses are early Steuben, but the water goblet and finger bowl are both Waterford. None of this goes in the dishwasher, of course. It's all far too delicate for detergents.
Finger bowl?
Oh, yes. Our side of the family always used finger bowls between the main course and the dessert.
Well, would you show me how they work?
Certainly, dear. You see, the maid would come and take away the plate, like this. And then she'd set down the finger bowls in front of us. They would be filled approximately halfway full with cool water, and there might be a little rose floating in it, or a sliver of lemon. Now, of course, we would have our napkins on our laps, like this. And then we'd dip our fingers into the finger bowl, gently, gently, and then we'd wiggle them around and shake them out, and dab them on our napkins, and dab our lips. And then the maids would come and take them away, and it would come a nice sherbet or chocolate mousse.
Thanks, Aunt Harriet. That was great.
You're welcome, dear. Now, Tony, would you mind telling me again what this is all for? I didn't quite understand over the telephone.
It's a classroom project, ma'am, Hirsch.
My project? In what, pray tell?
Anthropology, actually.
Anthropology? Whatever does that have to do with all this?
Well, you see, we're studying the eating habits of various vanishing cultures. For example, someone is talking about the Kikuyus of northern Kenya. My roommate decided he would do his project on the Cree Indians of Saskatchewan, and my professor suggested that I do a slideshow on us.
Us?
Yes. Us, the wasps of the northeastern United States.
I see.
Yeah. You know, you can learn a lot about the culture from how it eats.
Such as what?
Well, take these finger bowls, for example. There you have an almost neurotic obsession with cleanliness, reflecting the guilt that comes with the last stages of capitalism. Or, notice the unnecessary accumulation of glass and china and the compulsion to display it. Or the subject aggression in these knives.
I think I'll ask you to leave now, Tony.
Here,
I was going to ask you to stay for a cocktail, but now I won't.
please, Aunt Harriet.
Out! Right now! Before I telephone long distance to your mother! Vanishing culture, why I forbid you to mention my name in the classroom or to show one glimpse of my personal property! And you can tell that professor of yours I've got a good
dining room. It's a good place to talk. Why not? As a matter of fact, I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day.
I love this room. I've always loved it. Always.
Your mother and I still use it. Every now and then we have a nice dinner. We have it in here. Lamb chops, broilers.
I've left him, Dad.
Oh, a little vacation.
I've left him permanently.
Yes, well, permanently is a long word.
I couldn't live with him, Dad. We don't get along at all.
You may think that now, but you'll find in time.
Could we live here, Dad,
Here?
for a few months
With 3 small children?
while I work out my life?
What time is it? A little after 5. The sun's over the yard arm by now, or as it should be. I think it's almost permissible for you and I to have a little drink. Meg?
Could we stay here, Dad?
Make us a drink, Maggie.
All right.
I like a scotch, make it reasonably strong, and I like to use a large glass with a pheasant on it, and very little ice.
All right.
So, I ran into Mimi Mott the other day. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dad.
There she was, being a very good sport with her 3rd husband. Her 3rd, who's deaf as a post and extremely disagreeable. So I pull her aside and I say, can you hear me?
I'm listening, Dad.
I say, now Mimi, tell me the truth. If you made half as much effort with your 1st husband as you made with your last 2, don't you think you'd still be married to him? And she said, maybe. That's exactly what she said. Maybe if she had made the effort.
That's your generation, Dad.
That's every generation.
It's not mine.
Every generation has to make an effort.
I won't go back to him, Dad. I want to be here.
I wanted the glass with pheasant on it.
I think one of the kids used it.
Oh.
So can we stay here, Dad?
I sleep in your room now. Your mother kicked me out because I snore. And we use the boys' room to watch television.
I'll sleep in the guest room.
And the children?
They can sleep on the 3rd floor in the maids' rooms.
We closed them off because of oil bills.
I don't care, Dad. We'll work it out, please.
Give it another try first.
No.
Another try.
He's got someone else now, Dad. She's living there right now. She's moved in.
Well, fly back and kick her out.
Oh, Dad.
I'm serious. You tell this woman to peddle her papers elsewhere. We'll sit with the children while you do.
I've got someone else, too, Dad.
You've had a little fling.
I've been going with someone.
A little fling.
I've been living with him.
Where was your husband?
He stayed with his girl.
And the children?
Well, they came, went.
Sounds a little complicated.
It is, Dad. That's why I needed to come home.
Let's review the bidding, may we? So you plan to marry this new man?
No,
You're not in love with him?
no. He's already married, anyway.
But he's decided he loves his wife.
No.
But you've decided you don't love him.
Yes.
Or your husband.
Yes.
And your husband's in love with someone else.
He lives with someone else.
Your children, my grandchildren, come and go among these various households?
Yes. Sort of. Yes.
It sounds extremely complicated.
It is, Dad. It really is.
Well, it seems to me the first thing to do is to simplify things. That's the first thing. You tell this man you're living with to leave. You sue your husband for divorce. You keep your house. You keep your children in the present schools.
There's
you...
someone else. Dad.
Someone else.
Someone else entirely.
A 3rd person.
Yes.
What was that movie your mother and I liked so much? The 3rd Man.
It's not a man, Dad.
Not a man.
It's a woman.
Do you want to repair? I'll take your class, and I'll get us both repairs.
I'm all mixed up, Dad. I'm all over the ballpark. I've been seeing a crisis counselor, and I've taken a part-time job, and I'm jogging 2 miles a day, and none of it is working, Dad. I want to be here. I want to take my children to the zoo, to the park lake, and to the art gallery, and do all the things that you and Mother used to do with all of us. I want to start again, Dad. I want to start all over again.
I made one for your mother. And I found the glass pheasant on it. In the trash. Somebody broke it. So let's have a nice cocktail with your mother and see if we can get the children to sit quietly while we do.
You don't want us here, do you, Dad?
Of course we do, darling. A week, 10 days. You're most welcome.
I can't go back, Dad.
My sweetheart. Neither can I.
I don't know whether to eat or not.
What's the trouble, Mother?
I don't know whether to eat or not. Your father and I were sitting in the living room having a perfectly pleasant cocktail together when all of a sudden that stupid telephone rang and now he's pulled up in the bedroom talking away. I don't even know who he's talking to. I think it's just someone from the club.
Are we eating or not?
I simply don't know. I'm not quite sure whether to go ahead or not yet, Bertha. Mr. Thatcher is still on the telephone.
Couldn't we at least serve the soup?
I don't know. I just don't know. We'll wait 5 more minutes, Bertha.
Yes, Mrs.
Honestly, that telephone, I could wring its neck. It should be banned. It should be outlawed between 6 and 8 in the evenings.
I've got to go.
Go? Go where?
Out.
You mean you can't even sit down and have some of Bertha's nice celery soup?
I can't even finish my cocktail. Something very bad has happened.
Bertha, would you mind very much putting the soup back in the saucepan and keeping it on a low flame? We'll call you when you're
Yes,
ready.
Mrs.
What on earth is the matter?
Henry was insulted down at the club.
Insulted?
Uncle Henry?
Binky Byers made a remark to him. In the steam bag.
Oh, no.
What did he say, Dad?
Yes, what did he say?
I believe I was speaking to your mother. Binky made a remark, and apparently a number of the newer members laughed. Henry was so upset he had to put on his clothes and leave. He called me from Mother's.
Oh, no.
And so I called the club. I spoke to several people and they confirmed the incident. I asked to speak to Binky and he refused to come to the phone. So I've got to do something about it.
Dear. Oh, dear.
Won't you tell us what he said to Uncle Henry, Dad?
I will not. I will not dignify the remark by repeating it.
Oh, come on, Dad. We're not babies.
Yes, Standish, really, they should know these are different times.
Yep.
We're not quite ready yet for that. Now, go on, Standish, be frank. This is a thing.
Binky made a remark having to do with your Uncle Henry's private life.
I'm afraid you'll have to be a bit more specific here.
Mr. Byers, who had obviously been drinking since early in the afternoon, approached your Uncle Henry and alluded in very specific terms to his personal relationships.
What personal relationship?
His associations in the outside world.
I don't get it.
Darling, Mr. Byers must have made some unnecessary remarks regarding your Uncle Henry's bachelor attachments.
You mean Uncle Henry is a fruit?
I will not have that word in this house!
You got it from school, dear!
And I don't care if he got it from God! I will not have it in this house! The point is, my own brother was wounded in his love.
But what can you do about it, dear?
Go down there.
To your mother's?
To the club! I'll demand a public apology from Winkie in front of the entire grill.
But if he won't even come to the telephone.
Then I'll have to fight him.
Oh, Standish! Oh, Daddy!
I have to. I can't let the remark stand.
Can I come with you, Dad?
Hey, not. I want you home with your mother.
Standish, for heaven's sake.
No arguments, please.
The Winkie Byers is half your age and twice your size.
Makes no difference.
I think he was on the boxing team at Dartmouth.
No difference whatsoever.
What about your bad shoulder? What about your hernia?
I'm sorry. I imagine I shall be seriously hurt, but I can't stand idly by.
Oh, Daddy, please don't go! The lamb have you ever done, Mrs.?
And it's a beautiful lamb, Standish.
Now listen to me, all of you. And you too, Bertha. There is nothing I'd rather do than sit down and have some of Bertha's fine, celery soup, followed by a leg of lamb with mint sauce and roast potatoes. Am I right about the mint sauce and the roast potatoes, Bertha?
Yes, sir.
There is nothing I'd rather do than that. But I have to forego it. My own brother has been publicly insulted. And that means this family has been insulted. That means that this table, these chairs, this room, and all of us in it, including you, Bertha, are being treated with scorn. And so, if I sat down, I wouldn't be able to converse, I wouldn't be able to laugh, I wouldn't be able to correct your grammar, David. I wouldn't be able to enjoy your fine meal, Bertha. I wouldn't even be able to kiss my beautiful wife goodbye. Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye, darling.
Bye, Wiggins.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, David.
So long, Dad. Good luck.
Goodbye, Bertha.
Goodbye, sir. God bless you.
Thank you. Very much
Of course we can't eat now. Bertha, have something for yourself, and let people raid the icebox later on.
Yes, Mrs.
And the children can have lamb hash on Saturday.
Yes, Mrs.
David, you and I will drive down to the club and await the outcome in the visitors' lounge.
Okay, Mother.
So get a book. Get a good book. Get Ivanhoe. We could be there quite a while.
Okay.
And Claire, I want you to stay here and hold the fort. Yes, Mother. Get on the phone with Dr. Russell. I don't care whether he's having dinner or in the operating room. Tell him to be at the club to give your father first aid. Yes, Mother. And then study your French.
All right, Mother. Mother?
What, for heaven's sake?
Is it true about Uncle Henry?
Well, it may be, sweetheart. But you don't say it to him. And you don't say it at the club. And you don't say it within a 10-mile radius of your father. Now, goodbye!
We'll talk in here. Nobody will disturb us. Nobody comes near dying anymore. I thought of sitting down with a number of intelligent people to enjoy good food properly served. That apparently doesn't occur to people anymore. Nowadays, people in kitchens or in living rooms, standing around balancing their plates like jugglers. Pretty soon, they'll be eating in bathrooms. Well, why not? Simplify the process considerably.
Sit down somewhere, Paul.
I'll sit here. Oh, we can look out. There's a purple finch that comes to the window every evening. Brings his young. Now, I want to talk to you about my funeral. I want to. There aren't many apples left in the barrel for me.
You've been saying that for years, Pop.
I know. But this time it's true. So I want to do this. Please. You're my eldest son. I can't do it with anyone else. Your mother starts to cry, your brother isn't here, and your sister gets distracted. So concentrate, please, on my funeral.
All right, Pop.
First, here's my obituary for both newspapers. I dictated it to Miss Kovac down at the office. I've read it over twice, and it's what I want. I mentioned my business career, my civic commitments, and of course, my family. The papers will want to cut some of it, but don't you let them.
Okay, Pop.
I also want them to print this picture of me. It was taken when I was elected to board the symphony drive. I think it will do. I don't look too young to die, nor so old it won't make any difference.
All right, Pop.
Now, I want the funeral service announced at the end of the obituary and to occur 3 days later. That will give people time to adjust their appointments. And I want it to start at 3:30 in the afternoon. This gives people time to digest their lunch. It doesn't obligate us to feed them dinner. Notice I've underlined the word church. Mr. Fairweather may try to cram everybody into the chapel, but don't you let him. I've lived in this city all my life, and I know a great many people. And I want people to have a seat and feel comfortable. So if you see them milling around at the door, you go right up to them and find them a place. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Pop.
I've listed the following works to be played at the organ. This Bach, this Handel, and this Schubert. All lively, you'll notice. Nothing gloomy and nothing grim. And I want the service to start with a good rousing hymn. Onward, Christian soldiers. And then Mr. Fairweather may make some brief, I've underlined brief, remarks about my book. Do you plan to speak, by the way?
Me?
You? Do you plan to say anything?
I hadn't thought.
Well, don't if you don't want to. There's nothing more uncomfortable than a reluctant or unwilling speaker. On the other hand, if you, as my eldest son, were to get on your feet and say a few words of farewell.
Of course I will, Pop.
Good. Then I'll write you in. Brief remarks by my son, Richard. Any idea what you might say?
No, Pop.
You won't make it sentimental, will you? Brad Hoffmeister's son got up there the other day and made some very sentimental remarks about Brad. I didn't like it. I don't think Brad would have liked it either.
I won't get sentimental, Pop.
Good. On the other hand, you won't make any wise comments, will you?
Oh, Pop.
You have that tendency, Nick. Your brother's birthday and Marcy's wedding, you got up and made some very flip remarks about all of us.
I'm sorry, Pop.
Smart guy stuff. Too smart, in my opinion. If you're going to get into that sort of thing, perhaps you better not say anything at all.
I won't make any wisecracks, Pop. I promise.
Thank you. Because you love us, don't you? You love me?
Yes, Pop. Really?
We live 1,000 miles away. You may have run off every summer. You may be a terrible letter writer. But you love us all just the same, don't you? You love me?
Yes, Pop.
Fine. Now, at the graveside, just the family. I want to be buried beside my brothers and below my mother and father. Leave room for your mother to lie beside me. If she marries again, still leave room. She'll come back in the end.
All right, Pop.
After the burial, invite everyone back here. Stay close to your mother. She gets nervous at any kind of gathering. And after everyone's gone, sit with her. Stay in the house. Don't leave for a few days, please.
Promise, Pop.
And that's my funeral. I'm leaving you this room, you know. After your mother dies, the table and chairs go to you. It's the best thing I can leave you by far.
Thanks, Pop.
Now, we will rejoin your mother. I'm going to leave this envelope in my safe deposit box on top of my will and stock certificates. I'm going to leave the key where I left the bureau drawer. You didn't see the finch feeding his young.
Yes, I did, Pop.
You saw him while I was talking?
That's right.
Good. I'm glad you saw it.
Oh, Annie. It looks absolutely spectacular.
Thank you.
Now, can you be sure the soup plates are hot?
I always do.
And I think we can dispense with butterballs. Just give everyone a nice square of butter.
I'll do butterballs, Mrs.
Would you? How nice. Oh, yes, before people begin to arrive, I want to pay you. For you, Annie, and for Velma in the kitchen. It includes the taxi.
Thank you.
There's a little extra in yours, Annie. Just a present, because you've been so helpful to the family over the years.
Thank you, Mrs.
Now, I'd better check the living room.
Yes, Mrs.
Oh, Annie, I heard some strange news. Through the grapevine, Mrs. Rowan said you won't be available anymore?
No, Mrs.
Not even for us, Annie? We've used you more than anyone.
I'm retiring, Mrs.
But surely for special occasions. I mean, if we're desperate, can I still reach you at your nephew's?
He's moving away, Mrs.
But where will you go? What will you do?
I'll help my sister in Milwaukee, Mrs.
But we'll be blessed without you.
You'll manage, Mrs.
Oh, but not like this. We'll never match this.
Thank you, Mrs.
There's the bell.
I'll get it, Mrs.
Women's coats upstairs, men's in the hall closet.
Yes, Mrs.
Oh, Annie. Thank you, Annie, for everything.
You're welcome, Mrs.
Lately, I've been having this recurrent dream. We're giving perfect party. We have our dining room back and grandmother's silver before it was stolen. And Charlie's mother's royal blue dinner plates before the movers dropped them. And even the finger bowls.
If you knew where they were.
And we've invited all our favorite people. Oh, I just mean old friends. I mean everyone we've ever known and liked. We have the man who fixes our Toyota. We have that lovely young couple who bought the Peyton house. We have the teller at the bank, and we have the receptionist at the doctor's office.
And our children we played, and they'd all come home from wherever they are.
And we'd have 2 cocktails and hot hors d'oeuvres, and a first-rate cook in the kitchen, and 2 maids to serve, and everyone would get along famously.
Now I laugh when she tells me this dream. Do you know what a party like that would cost? Do you know we have to pay these days for a party like that?
Well, I know all that. But sometimes, I think, it might almost be worth it.
Oh, here we are. Come in, come in.
Yes, come in. We're having 6 courses tonight, and I don't want to hear any talk about diet or calories or cholesterol.
This is it. I give up. From now on, it's hamburgers in the kitchen for me.
This is really too much. It's like a dream.
You should go to Washington. They should set you up in the White House and make you secretary of dinner parties. I've even put place cards. I've arranged it so husbands and wives can't sit together. Place cards, yes. Now, where am I sitting? Here? Really? For some strange reason, I'm sitting next to you.
I hope I'm sitting next to you. Yep, here we are. Do you think Ruth is trying to match us up?
And now I want to hear all about you. I hear you've been very successful.
Oh, yes, I've done well at this new job. And yourself?
Will the company new to me? No? So you'll be here? I'm glad. Really, I am.
So how are you getting along since the divorce? Could we have lunch sometime? We've got a lot to talk about.
Ah, the wine. You always get such good wine at this house.
Now, the one I do know something about.
I don't know whether it's French or Californian, but it's the best.
Now stop me if I drink too much. I feel like going overboard tonight.
What a lovely table. I try and I try, but it never turns out like this.
I think it looks like something out of Versailles.
Do you like the candlesticks? They belong to my grandmother.
Oh. You know, I used to sit at a place just like this when I was a little girl. What great memories.
I wish my children could see this table. They have no idea what a good table looks like.
I can't wait to see the menu this year. I still remember that souffle thing we had the last time.
I must have had 10 of those bacon hors d'oeuvres. That's okay. I'll play 3 sets of tennis tomorrow and work